New year?
It's a new year.
New year? New
2024? 25.
25.
Man.
25 comes after 24.
I was saying it's a quarter of a century.
I wouldn't mind going backwards a little bit, though.
A little back? What do you mean?
A little backwards. I wouldn't mind being a year younger instead of a year older.
Speaking of going a year back, this sounds like a good opportunity to talk about 2024. Kind of lay it to bed.
Wrap it up?
Exactly. And yeah, it was just as weird as the year before that.
Not quite as weird as some of the years before, but still had its own weirdness, though.
Get back to it.
Let's wrap it up and put it to bed.
Yes.
Shall we?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's well, that 2024.
Gone in the blink of an eye.
Gone in the blink of an eye. Yeah, man, I do feel like every year I get so much older and older.
And you know, in just a few weeks, it's gonna be just like that Who song.
Yeah.
Here comes the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah. I don't know. This year feels special though, doesn't it? I don't know. This 2025 it feels like it's one of those pivotal moments. Like everything seems to be reaching ahead. I don't know.
I like how you said quarter of a century, because that means we're a quarter of a century into the century that you and I were not born in.
No. God, 25
We're a quarter
years.
of a way through the next century.
Wow. Yeah, there's a new movie come out about Y2K, and I've been reflecting about like, God, 2000. You know, like that was the beginning of this, quarter of a century we've done. Wild ride.
And we were there for it.
We were. All right, so we're looking back to Spotify, and one of the things about me and your friendship, we used to play a thing called Music League, and we were really into like music and finding new music.
It was fun.
It was fun.
A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I still go back and listen to the old playlists.
I know so many artists from like weird countries that you know you would think like that artist is amazing, and I don't know. The distinctness, I think, of all the unique artists on Spotify. They're not cookie cutter at all, let's put it that way. Yeah, so I was thinking about I got my wrap up. And my top artist, I don't know, Spotify was weird with my wrap up. Like, it was very odd. But my top artist is an artist called Nov, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Nox Nova Yuka. No, like Dracula. No. I have a hard time with her last name. But anyway,
so
it's a female singer. She sings like Susie and the Banshees.
Oh, nice.
She has that very just heavy, you know, British kind of gothy vibe going on.
Susie got me the win on Music League that one time.
Yeah, Susie and the Banshees. She
got me the win.
Yeah, homage to her. So this, I don't know. There's something about this woman's voice and the sort of dark gothic vibes. That was like my top artist. Is this sort of gloomy goth.
So what you're saying is Lew was dark and gloomy.
I was a little dark and gloomy in 2024.
Well,
Thanks, Spotify.
Let's see how Jeff was.
Let's see how
Jeff didn't listen to Spotify very much.
No.
So let's see.
But I mean, like my partner, like while you're looking it up, my partner, she played a lot of her daughter's songs. So all this stuff like Katy Perry and these kind of pop pink and all these like pop artists, and she's like, "No, Spotify, you don't get me at all. That's not me. That's her." Yeah, like the Spotify's looking, it's like two people.
Spotify, you don't get me.
AI doesn't understand. It's not just your tastes, it's their tastes. You know?
It's not me, it's her.
All right, he's dealing with technology right now. Where are we at?
My biggest listening day was November 9th. I listened for 90 minutes.
Oh, boy, you had a good day. Yeah. That's not a long time.
Didn't even have to use my AK.
I think I was like 4 hours once, but I was podcasting.
I told you I didn't use it much. I played 49 songs this year.
Yeah.
My top song was I Melt With You by Modern English.
Whoa, all right. Throwback.
You were in the top 0.5%. You streamed it 2 times. Twice. 2 times.
Algorithms.
So it only took me 2 times to hit the top half percentile.
Oh my God. You know.
Well, it's not competition. There is a leaderboard.
I gotta go say, I think 2024 will be remembered for the algorithm. Like, the algorithm took over everything.
Interesting here.
So what you got?
I'm quite, I like my music list here.
All right, we got some good stuff.
It just stopped on me. I listened to 31 artists. Can I go back and see that list again? I guess I can. But,
the algorithm.
so yeah, I saw, I'm Out With You.
I'm out with you.
Metallica 1.
Okay.
U2, Pride in the Name of Love.
Wow. Yeah.
Trying to get back to what my fifth one was. Oh, it was a Billy Joel song. I think it was Piano Man. Piano Man.
But a couple of years ago, your best of list would have been distinctly different.
Let's face it, I only listened to 39 songs.
You were not.
So,
You were not a Spotify
yeah,
freak this year.
no, that's because Music League stopped.
Well, I rejoined.
You didn't tell me? Dare you?
It was terrible. It's changed. Because it used to be like a bowling league. That sort of ball. Well, but so I got the heart of it for me was that it felt like the old stuff was a bowling league. We all knew each other. My sister was involved, and a guy named Mike, and like we just had all these cast of characters that we got to know.
And speaking of algorithms, you can kind of figure out what songs to pick if you wanted to win.
Exactly. Well, that's if you're good at it. That was the point. Like how can I make Jeff happy, but also make these other two people happy? Something that's got this happy medium. Yeah, picking your songs was it was an art to it.
That was the rogue there. I picked songs that I liked.
Yeah.
Let me share with you what I like.
And that's like any league. That's what it felt like. Yeah. But the app is now global. People play hardcore. Like they don't even actually listen to the playlist. The majority of them just vote instantly. It's not really about the music. And for us, it was about the music. That's why we liked it.
It's old and jaded.
Yeah. Wow. So what else happened in 2024? Oh, yes. The Olympics. What a weird ride, man. What a weird ride.
Who is this?
Raygun. I mean, I'm a big fan. I thought she was fantastic. Were you a fan?
It was quite a spectacle. I enjoyed it.
I mean,
I enjoyed it.
She's cool, man. I think she's really cool. The way she handled it was cool.
She's got some big cojones to do that, man. I mean, okay, Australia admitted she's the best we got.
I mean,
and they sent her, and you know what? She tried.
She
tried.
But it also, I think, in it was that sense of her. Like that Australia and her own personality.
Kangaroo hop.
Yeah, and that's what I got from a lot of the dancing routine was like you wanted to feel the person, like their energy and how they worked with the crowd and then moved into their special moves. It was, choreographed, but I don't know, it's a fascinating sport. I gotta admit, it was my favorite thing from the Olympics.
Well, interestingly enough, as soon as the Olympics was over, LA announced breakdancing is not going to be in the Los Angeles competition.
I know, I heard that too.
Short-lived.
Los Angeles. It's the second time we've mentioned that Olympics in this podcast.
Well, it's interesting. It's true. It's true. It's very
Guess we're
true.
excited. Yeah. Damn, it was Olympics. It was fun. I mean, Paris, the whole opening ceremony.
I remember watching the LA Olympics last century.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1980.
Which one? The winter one?
LA.
LA?
When they built the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And then they moved the Raiders to LA to play in the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Raiders went back to Oakland.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The Coliseum is still there, though.
I learned to drive in LA.
LA lefts. I remember LA left turns. Left on red.
Yeah.
Or left on pink.
It's memorable learning to drive in such a chaotic place.
Okay, it's about to turn red. I can make my left. Let's go.
Oh, California. It is a beautiful state, though.
Mm-hmm.
And 80% of our produce comes from it. Yeah, so 2024. Man, we're just...
And 2024 was the year that the Democrats tried to make the United States California.
Ooh.
That was that was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
That political ride in 2020, that was a roller coaster ride.
No.
We're going to put Trump in jail. Well, he can still run for president. Well, okay. Well, we're still going to try to put him in jail.
The election, yeah,
Okay.
the election happened. That was
We're not going to let him campaign.
that was a thing.
He's not going to campaign because he's going to be in court the whole time.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden's going to win. Well, Joe Biden's elderly. And it started showing.
It's like chaos. It's just chaos. That's what it is.
It was utter chaos.
That's what it seems like. There's top to bottom chaos. You know?
And then Trump finally gets to campaign.
Yes.
And somebody tries to kill him.
The assassination.
So what's that do? Skyrockets his popularity.
Yeah.
Up to the moon. That iconic photograph of him pumping his fist, blood coming off the side of his head.
Oh, right. That.
It was like Raygun on steroids.
Yeah.
You know, in a Rambo movie.
It was. It felt like reality TV out of control.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, is that reality? Is that what's actually happening?
That's
right?
Trump, and now Trump's
No.
really popular again. So what does that do to Biden?
Well,
And then as soon as they figured out, okay, Biden can't beat him now.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, who do we do? And then the unprecedented announcement of a presidential candidate that never won a primary.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got celebrities pumping billions and billions and billions of dollars to get this person elected.
Yeah.
And then we have one celebrity that promised if Trump won, she would flee the country.
I think there was probably a few more than that.
There were a few. Well, I mean, we have one so far
It was
that stood by her word and fled the country.
Yeah, no, there's I've heard it. Yeah.
So whether you
bizarre
like
times.
whether you like Ellen or not, she's a woman of her word.
She
said she would leave if he was elected, and she left.
I mean, I remember her first TV shows, and she's been a part of our culture. You know,
So
fascinating.
she stuck by her word. She left.
She did, and she's out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, 2024. Yeah. It feels so bizarre to just reflect back to it and try to remember, because it felt like so much. It felt like one weirder thing after the other. I mean, the drones at the end. Guys, we talked about UFOs already, but that was nuts.
And I get
I
get legalities. There's no legality against flying the drone.
If it's drone that's the size of a car and
As long
40
as
or
it's in its
50 of them,
proper airspace.
where do they go? Where do they get gas up in the night? And the bizarre thing is, it wasn't just one town. It was like all over the world. Like all over, thousands of these sightings, and we're talking like almost dozens of these things would be in the air, just bouncing back and forth. And then there were other ones, and it was like orbs, and then I don't know.
So
it was confusing. It was weird.
Is there like some sort of secret drone society? Like the old ham operators. The old ham operators used to like have their handle calls and be able to speak to each other around the world.
I don't know. I mean, I thought FAA could like see these things.
Never.
I thought they popped up on radar. I don't know.
It's airspace that's wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no restrictions in the airspace.
Yeah, and that's why things just keep getting weirder and weirder.
But it's like it cracks me up when people are like, "Shoot him down!" Like, now that's a crime.
No.
It's not a crime to fly the drone, but it is a crime to shoot a gun into the air.
It is.
And
people were trying to shoot at them.
And then these things are going to fall down. Where are they going to fall?
Oh,
They're going to fall on top of something.
The stories are weird.
Or someone.
Yeah, there was one like crashed in a Lowe's parking lot. And a YouTuber was on the scene, like interviewing people and being like, it was a big giant drone. Like,
simply a drone, no camera.
Hazmat people show up, they put it in a disperse. And then only within like an hour or two, it was just like a stain on the concrete. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, and everyone's like, what just happened?
It just kind of humanized the drone, which is interesting. Because we woke up, tragically there was a dead raccoon on our street, like right outside of the driveway.
Yep.
And
someone's got to take care of it.
Somebody's got to take care of it.
Yep.
So, like the hazmat team came out and took care of it. But there's still a stain on the. So you said all left was a little stain. So now we're comparing drones to raccoons.
That's the analogy for me. Is 2024 was a stain. It was a stain. I don't know. Yeah, but What's a year anyway?
I'll take a stain over a skid mark, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't a skid mark. 2020 was kind of a skid mark.
It was. But time doesn't exist. I don't know if you know that. I've been listening to this guy who was he was in the remote viewing psychic kind of guy. One of those ever since childhood has had these weird experiences his whole life. Gets in the military, and next thing you know, he's doing psychic experiments for the government. Spying using remote viewing. Like he talks about it openly. Like he's written books. He's like, yeah, I did that for the government. You're like, so you're telling me the psychics are real, and the government's been out there spying on people with psychics? Like, okay, sure, but this guy's legit. He's got all the credentials. He's the real thing.
I worked at
bizarre stuff.
I worked part-time, more of a volunteer thing, but I worked part-time at a metaphysical bookstore, gift shop, and they had psychics where people could come in and get a reading and everything.
Yeah.
And so I do distinctly remember one afternoon, the shop got a phone call, and they were like, I lost my car keys. I can't find them anywhere, and I'm late to go pick up whatever. It was an emergency. I got to find my car keys.
Yeah.
Thought it was interesting. She called the psychic, help her find her car keys.
Yeah.
And I watched, and I'm like watching closely. I'm sitting at the counter, watching closely, and this psychic is just like, she's like, can you describe certain things?
It's like the remote viewing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where's the keys
so it's
at?
like at one point she was locked in, and she's like, they're in the garage under your car. And sure enough, they were in the garage under her car.
Yeah.
But the psychic had to tune in. That's what I was watching the most, because this was a phone call.
There are people that are receivers. We've talked about this before.
This is a phone call.
Yeah.
And just with a few questions so that she could get calibrated. Once she got calibrated, bam, there's your keys.
Well, and that gets back to my point, is this guy is psychic and he lives in this world, his whole life, and he sees this stuff, and that's how he experiences it. But he says time doesn't exist. It just doesn't. And we kind of know that now. The weird quantum entanglements, and he called it non-locality, quantum non-locality. But he said everything is one. Like, legitimately, scientifically. And he's like, the psychic guy's like, yeah, you just, information. Whenever you need it, it's all out there.
Honestly, that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It really does, because all my life I've not really felt like I'm on a 24-hour schedule. Like
what is 24 hours?
Yeah, I mean, like I've always felt off on I'm more like a 36-hour schedule.
We are destroying time in our podcast about 2024. Go ahead.
24 hours. Hey, we looped it back around. Back to 24.
Pause. All right, I gotta make sure we're still recording. Hang on. see how much time we got.
And
Dude, great! It's still recording.
And the mic is supposed to be red, right?
Yep. Red was the good color.
That's a good color.
Yeah. And then let's see the time. I think we're at 18 minutes. So we got a good 6 more minutes of content. I don't know. So let's get back to 2024.
So 2024. Let's see what else happened.
No.
Stuff stood out. We got to think. We've lost a lot of people in 24. Like a lot of well-known people.
Let's throw that out then.
Yeah, like we lost a lot. Like just off the top of my head, I remember James Earl Jones.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
A lot of celebrities too. A lot of icons.
I love that. I love that sense of reflection.
Who did we lose in 2024?
Yeah. I don't know. The lead singer of Lords of Acid, the female singer. That always like, do your kisses burn?
Yeah.
She just died. I just read that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's an obscure reference, but I like Lords of Acid. That was just that was one of those bands. They were so distinctly psychedelic, weird. I don't know, like they had the Cramps vibe, they're the same sort of sexual energy.
I love Lords.
They were,
Love. All right, let's see. Cheetah Rivera. James Earl Jones.
Okay.
Maggie Smith.
Okay, yes.
Shannon Doherty.
Oh, yeah.
She died of cancer, 90210.
I did, yeah.
Liam Payne.
Never watched that show.
Phil Lesh. People we've never heard of. Did we lose Jimmy Carter this year or last year? We lost Jimmy Carter last year, didn't we?
This is terrible radio. We need